Yo, what up, people? Smith motherfucking are here today, of course, to give you guys Kill la Kill Episode 2 motherfucking review. Now, oh my god, did you guys see it, yo? Like, like this nigga, like this fucking professor, this dude was doing some weird ass shit. Like, yeah. And again, these fights, like, yo, like, mad taking pictures, like, oh my god. Oh my god, it reminded me so much of this fucking shit. I did a live reaction for it, like, earlier in the week. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, yo, okay, fuck it. Let's just get into it. Let's just go straight into this shit. Okay, it starts off and basically, Raito. She just got done fighting her boxer, and, of course, the student council president, that bitch is there, and basically she's asking all these questions about, like, do you know my father? And then basically it's confirmed that yes, she does know her father. And then it's like, are you the blue scissor wielder? And then basically the suit comes out and it tells her that in 5 minutes she's gonna lose consciousness because of blood loss. And of course she's like, but you're sucking my blood, you need to stop drinking so much. And so basically she just makes her escape, and they're about to send everybody after her, and no, fucking student council president, fucking holy light, and I'm like, yo, this fucking shit. And then it's like, no, leave her be. And so she's just going down on this train, and then she passes out, and she falls in like the slums district. And you just see these little kids, and they're like, like, I'm like, what? Like, no, like these little kids, I'm like, what the fuck's going on in their mind? Because they're like a nearly naked girl, and they're like they're showing like their bodies, and they're all black and shit, making like really like what would be the best word? They were making really aggressive faces, just saying, and their tongues were sticking out, and they're going like, oh my god, like what the fuck's about to happen? And then she wakes up, and there's like this giant fat dude on top of her. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, the fuck am I watching? Like, this sums is pretty fucked up. And she punches this nigga straight in the face, and he goes flying in the air. And then out comes Mako. We figure out basically that her brothers found her and brought her back to Mako's house, so Raito, could heal. And their father is, of course, legit, like a in-house doctor, so to speak, except for the black market. What the fuck do they call him again? Basically, he's a motherfucker that would sell your kidney, like on the black market. Like, oh, like, and he's like, well, it's like, his daughter Mako is basically trying to talk him up. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck, like, because she was like, basically, he's killed a lot more people than he saved. And then the father makes a joke like, yeah, the dead don't sue, and he starts laughing. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, so basically, she got healed on some black market. Like, he's just, well, what's it? I'm trying to remember the exact correct word, but I can't remember exactly what they called it. But basically, he's like a street doctor. Fuck it. He doesn't have any credentials or nothing like that. No, fuck that. This is where all the criminals go. They come to see him. And so, from there, basically she decides to spend the night. And we meet her mom. We meet the entire family, like the brother and then the mom. And she, of course, Raito, just like fucking, yeah, nails the brother. Right, and the mom walks in. And the mom's like, well, if you have to beat up my husband and my child to make yourself feel better, go ahead and do it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like we see like this man. I was like, my thumbnail. I was like, yo, this big ass motherfucker just drooling blood. Like, ah. That was shit. And then from there, basically, they wake up the next morning, and she's wondering, like, about her suit, because she's talking to it, and she basically names it Fresh Blood. I'm not saying that fucking Japanese name, no, fuck that. It's Fresh Blood, that's what it's translated to, that's the meaning of the fucking word, so her suit is called Fresh Blood. There you go. Right. And she's basically talking to it, and it's not responding, and she's wondering why. And it looks right now like actual just sailor uniform. None of that slutty shit. No, it just looks like a regular sailor uniform. And so the next day they're waking up, they're going to school. They have to hurry up and be there because if Mako misses one, if she's late, then of course she is going to, of course, be expelled. And while this is happening, of course, we see the shit. Like while she's sleeping, we go over to the school, and there's like student council president, and this bitch legit got a sweatshop. I'm like, yo, like, the way that they break down this whole system is like crazy. Basically, it's like this: at the bottom is the slums, and then depending on how good you are in school, like if you're a really good athlete or very the club status, that's how higher you live. And like the rich people, they live closer up to the school, and they're all like segregated and divided the higher up you go. And then at the very top is the actual school, and the school runs the entire city, and the student council president rules the school, and she's like trying to do some crazy ass shit. And then basically find out like the next person, and it's like basically she gives a 2-star fucking Goku suit to the tennis club bitch. And she has like this weird like fucking mechanical like fucking telescope eyes shit coming, like she has like this like giant ass fucking telescope like right in front of her face and just comes out, and like she can like suck it back in and like switch them out, and basically they're winning a game, and so she's giving it to them because they want them to train harder. Be able to win against some other school somewhere, I believe. And then from that, it transpires into, okay, so they make it to school. And then they just start, like, she's just talking Mako. And then mad fucking tennis balls just start flying in the bitch's face, and she just keeps talking, and it's like just making all types of bumps. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck? Like, we find out that basically Mako's a member of the tennis club, and yesterday, since she didn't show up for practice, they're going to punish her even though she was kidnapped. They're like, fuck that. It isn't our fault that she got kidnapped. Well, it kind of is, but fucking anyway. They're like, yo, they're just hammering. And in comes fucking Raito. And she's protecting her, and she's trying to get her suit to activate, but it isn't activating. And so she has Mako, like, diverge around him. And then basically she gets, like, her ass whooped. She gets flying into the sea. She goes legit down the river. She gets real quick, she's done. And then from there, she just goes down the river into the fucking sewer. And then we see like this dude, and he's like a professor, and he's the actual teacher, homeroom teacher. And he sees her just like hanging in the fucking sewers, and so he saves her. And it turns out that he knows a lot about this suit. As she wakes up, she's naked, of course. This nigga said, I taught you a lot of things about your body. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker. Yo, this professor's doing mad weird shit. And his power is like crazy too. But basically, she came charging at him with a punch. He dodged that shit and just threw 3 needles in the bitch's back, and she couldn't move. He's on that acupuncture. Yeah, acupuncture. Damn it, I can't say it in the right. Basically, you know what the fuck I mean. They use needles and pressure points to like make your body either tense up or loosen up. And basically, because he threw those in the back of her fucking back, she couldn't move. And she was just stuck like this. And then from there, he basically takes some of her blood, and he just squirts it onto the suit, and then it fucking transforms. And we find out that he actually knows a lot about the suit. And we even get a flashback about, how it got its name, Fresh Blood, and its original name. And basically, when she put it on, the suit knows its abilities, but it doesn't know exactly, like, what it is. Because it has gaps in its memory. But apparently it remembers its creator, and it turns out that the creator is actually Raito's father. And that's why she decided to use it. She's going to use her father's suit no matter how slutty it looks. Just saying, it's like, yo, the angles, oh my god, angles. And like, that part really got me thinking about that live reaction. Of this one fucking anime. Where it's like legit about wrestling this season. Yo, go check that out, yo. It's like it's so fucking ecchi, it isn't even funny. It's like fuck it. Why not? My reaction every week. That's the shit. I don't give a fuck. Anyway. Okay, so back on it. And so, basically then, he starts doing, like, this weird thing, like, describing shit. Like, how you have to be, like, a worthy body in the suit. And he starts, like, fucking taking off his shirt. And then he's, like, unzipping his pants and shit. And then there's, like, this holy light and shit. And he's like, yeah. I'm just like, and you can see, like, this nigga's nipples in his fucking, I'm like, like, what the fuck is he doing? And it was like a whole, like, minute and a half long scene of this nigga just like, yeah. And I'm like, really? Like, this dude was doing some mad weird shit with this underage girl. Like, then he undressed. Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this motherfucker? Like, and there's, like, this holy light is literally blinding. And he's, like, just slowly covering his body. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, well, that's all we have for today. And then he just, like, fucking walks away. And I'm like, just stops. I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, really, bro? Like, that's what you're doing? This motherfucker. And then basically he gives her a glove. And it's basically called, like, the Sekai it's called something, like a Sekai something. And basically what it allows is, you know, to give blood to the fucking suit. Through some way. It's a glove you put on, apparently it'll give blood to the suit. So it can transform. And then she goes back to the fucking school, to the tennis club, who are literally, like, yo, like, legitly just, like, hammering with the punishment, which, again, we were told earlier, but I'll mention it now, because fucking why not? It's like the 110 million, like, ball shit. I'm like, tennis ball thing. Basically, they shoot a lot of fucking tennis balls at your ass. And this bitch is like fucking tennis racket. It's like a giant ass red thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, fuck it. And so she goes there, she saves Mako. And then they're gonna do like an official tennis match. And basically, they all like start shooting like their 110 million fucking tennis ball shit. And she cut everything into fucking little tiny micro pieces, like, yo, like legit, just like she fucking transformed. They're like, what the fuck is that? Like, what are you wearing? Like, and they're like, fucking anyway, just mad fucking tennis balls just flying at this bitch. She's just like everything, like, just gets cut up. I'm like, damn. Like, at first it cuts into like 10 pieces, the ball, and then it just goes into like little paper mache, and I'm like, damn. And then it's like, you lose, because, like, they're tennis match or some shit, and then it's basically like, okay, let's do an official tennis match then. And so they're doing, like, this tennis match. She's, like, mad losing, because she's using a tennis racket, and apparently the power that she's giving out is, like, literally destroying this fucking racket when she tries to serve. And when she tries to, like, rebound and shit, it gets, like, hit the ball moves so fast, it hits the fucking tennis racket. It goes through that bitch, and, like, makes her go flying back and shit. I'm like, damn. And there's just one scene, because throughout the entire thing, like, she basically gets thrown into, like upside down, in between these fucking like spikes on the wall. Like, legit, there are spikes around. So if you get hit by that ball and you go flying back, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna get stabbed. You're gonna, like, yeah, like, that's fucked up. I'm digging this shit though. That's crazy ass fighting. She goes flying into upside down, and her legs just open up like that, and her skirts. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, mad niggas taking pictures and shit. I'm just like, yo. And then basically, after giving up, she's like, her suit's basically like fresh blood. It's like, use the scissor. And so she takes the scissor out, and she starts putting string around it, like, let's do this. It can handle my power. And then she's like, no, that's cheating. The dude's about to call fault. The boxer motherfucker that lost last week in first episode. He's about to let call fault. In comes student council bitch. She's like, yeah, just fucking, yeah, holy light, raining that shit down. Like, yeah, let her use it. I'm like, fuck it. I mean, this bitch, when she does that shit with that light, I'm just like, she's legit trying to be so much like the person that rules this shit. She's like, I'm God, nigga. I put my staff down and light comes down on these motherfuckers. Like, damn. Like, she's so... She's just so full of herself. It ain't funny. I can't wait to see her get her ass whooped. I cannot wait. It's gonna be an epic ass fight too. But basically, she just she throws it up. It's actually able to hit it, and they're hitting back and forth, back and forth. And then out of nowhere, because she's having a tough time returning them, because she's have a lot of weight around them, she returns it, and then she's just like right in front of her, like, yeah, fuck you. It hits that shit. And it goes like a cosmic fucking beam and just hits this bitch into and through the entire side of like the fucking arena that they're in. And it's all broken. It's just blown up from the force. And you just see like these spikes just flying towards her. And like people, just fucking people watching, just flying in the air and shit. I was like, yo, that was badass. I was like, yo, that was the shit. And then basically there's like this whole thing about you lost. It's like what was it? I believe was that then. Yeah. It was right there. It was like basically like you lost. It's like you may have won the fight, but you lost the match or some shit like that. And it's like, no. Mako comes out. It's like, no, she won with friendship. She won everything. I'm like, fucking Mako. She's doing mad crazy shit throughout this episode. I'm digging this bitch. I am. Fuck it. And then basically, the student council president declares that she won the match. And there's something about like the sumo league's gonna have to take over for this competition for the school or something like that. Anyway, so possible sumo fighter next week. We'll see. Just picture that. Just giant ass motherfucker in a Goku suit. Like, yeah. Mad, crazy ass fast tackles and destructive power. That would be epic. That would be amazing if they did that. And so basically, student council president comes down. She unsheathes her sword, and I thought it was gonna be like a blue scissors that she was always holding, but no, it's actually a sword. And basically, this sword apparently can cut through even the scissor. And she's wanting to see how advanced her scissor, or I believe she calls it Kermi, how advanced it is, like how well are they synced up with power. Because, technically speaking, her sword is sharper and can cut through it. So she's trying to see exactly, if she's capable of holding the scissor and, not getting cut through and dying. And she just fucking slices, she defends it, and like the pressure is like immense. And you just see like this fucking slash just continue on, like right behind her. She's somehow dodging it though. And it just like cuts random people. And it's like in this blue flash and shit. I'm like, yo, that's the shit. And like the pressure's heavy. And then what we get, I was kind of disappointed, but basically, Suit says you got 2 minutes before you pass out. And, oh my god. And so she just takes off running. It's like, until next time. And they're gonna let her go, of course. She uses like this smoke shit to get away, like this smoke fucking fog. And like, she grabs Mako and then like, shoo, they're gone. I'm like, but you know what? It was a great episode nonetheless. Yo, that was a shit. When that nigga started doing that weird shit, I was like, what the fuck is this? But fuck it, it was hilarious. This nigga was doing weird shit. Like no joke. Like, oh my god, this fucking professor is like old, horny ass, weird ass motherfucker. And I'm digging that shit. I am. It's funny as shit. So with that being said, overall, I'd have to give this episode, of course. You know what? I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10, yeah. Yeah, I can give it epic. Yeah, it was only really about tennis. Nah. When I really think about it, it was cool, but really we just got introduced to characters and we learned a little bit more information about abilities, and then there was like that tennis match fight and a little bit of Prion fight. It wasn't. I can't give it epic. No. I'll give it 9.1 out of 10, yeah, great. It was a great episode, yeah, great. And once those fights start kicking up, and there's like just a full-out brawl or a battle, and shit's just getting destroyed, that's gonna be the shit. And they're just teasing us right now. Just picture it, they're probably just teasing us a little bit. Even though, technically speaking, this is like the full extent of her ability, and each time she's fighting very tough opponents. Like, apparently, because, she has like a time limit she can fight. Which is kind of, sad, because that means like every fucking fight, unless the student council president is the only one left, on a motherfucker that she hasn't beaten. And it really doesn't seem like she'll ever get a chance to really get in a one-on-one fight with her. So that's kind of disappointing, but at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So with that being said, it's Mr. Motherfucking R. I'll give this a great episode. Yeah, great. It was better than good. I can't give it that. No, I wanted to, but I really think about it, it wasn't. No, it was just great. It was just great. So peace the fuck out.